Today, we're gonna talk about the top 10 most dangerous places on Earth. Number 10. Verkhoyansk, Russia. Verkhoyansk is one of the coldest cities in the world. Referred to as the Cold Pole, the city is well known for its endless winters, with the Yana River frozen solid 9 months of the year. Winter temperatures fall between -60 and -40 degrees Fahrenheit, and from September to March, the city averages fewer than 5 hours of sunlight every day. For most of its history, Verkhoyansk was used as an exile city by Tsars and Soviets. Nowadays, 1,500 people call it home, and extreme tourists make regular appearances there. Number 9. Lake Kivu, Democratic Republic of Congo. Renowned as one of the Great Lakes of Africa, Lake Kivu is located along the border between Congo and Rwanda. But deep below its surface, the lake houses over 2.3 trillion cubic feet of methane gas and 60 cubic miles of carbon dioxide, which, if released, can spark a methane explosion, incite lake tsunamis, and kill the 2 million residents that call the basin home. Trying to think positive? The gas will likely be released only if volcanic activity occurs below the lake. Number 8. Minqing County, China. Minqing County has the distinction of being an ever-diminishing oasis trapped between two deserts. The drought-ridden area is afflicted with 130 days of wind and dust each year as the surrounding deserts continue gobbling up what little greenery is left. Since 1950, the desert has covered more than 100 square miles of the county, and as of 2004, the desert was approaching Minqing at a rate of 10 meters per year. With such unlivable land and an increasingly vulnerable population, the Chinese government has rightly deemed Minqing an ecological disaster area, and has started to relocate the more than 2 million people who call it home. Number 7. Dahlol, Ethiopia. Located 5 hours outside of Ethiopia's center in the Danakil Desert, Dahlol is known by locals as the Gateway to Hell. It's an apt title for the hottest inhabited place on Earth, where temperatures in summer reach up to 148 degrees Fahrenheit. Average temperatures hover around 94 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's of little relief to the locals. To add fuel to the fire, the rugged region is a revelation of salt flats, active volcanoes, and regular earthquakes. Unsurprisingly, given the settlement's inhospitable climate and lack of infrastructure, it's been dubbed a ghost town. Number 6. Somalia. Since the civil war began in 1990, Somalia has been divided into over 24 warring groups. Disease, famine, and ineffective governance have contributed to the rise of terrorist factions, which have further cracked Somalia's already fumbling foundations, embroiling it in crime and violence. Famine is a perennially devastating issue in Somalia, and from 2010 to 2012 it claimed the lives of over 260,000 people. According to an annual ranking by Foreign Policy and the Global Fund for Peace, Somalia is the most failed state in the world. Number 5. Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Port Moresby is known less for its picturesque surroundings but for the plethora of rapes, murders, carjackings, and rampant cases of HIV. In 2003, it was in Port Moresby that an injured woman was dragged away from a car crash only to be gang raped. Those meant to provide protection, the police, are often cited as just as corrupt as the rascal gangs themselves. Poverty is a great contributor to Moresby's malaise. The country lacks a welfare state, and sky-high unemployment rates have effectively forced the country's most vulnerable into violent means of empowerment. Number 4. Sana'a, Yemen. A land forgotten in time, Sana'a holds a wealth in Arabic architecture and culture. It's also a stronghold for Islamic fanaticism. In 2013, a series of bomb and gun attacks killed over 50 people and wounded even more. An Al-Qaeda-linked militant group claimed responsibility for the attack, and as of 2010, it's estimated that 500 to 1,000 Al-Qaeda fighters patrol Yemeni borders. Numbers will likely increase as Yemen has become a huge target of the US drone program. Beyond that, Yemeni girls continue to suffer as child brides. According to Human Rights Watch, over half of all young Yemeni girls are married before 18, and of them, 14% are married before age 15. Number 3. Monrovia, Liberia. Monrovia in Liberia possesses one of Africa's worst slums, West Point. Home to 75,000 people, the slum is perpetually crowded, plagued with cholera epidemics, drug use, teenage prostitution, and a lack of proper toilet facilities, so feces on the street and beaches is commonplace. A decade-long civil war contributed greatly to the slum's increased size, as many sought refuge in the capital city. Number 2. Brazil. Undoubtedly one of the most beautiful countries on the planet, Brazil is also a world leader in homicide. As of 2011, Brazil amassed an incredible 50,000 homicides per year. Brazil is also plagued with high incidences of rape, robberies, and where people are kidnapped for a short amount of time and walked over to ATMs where they're squeezed for all that they're worth. Exacerbating the violence is the rampant poverty and wide divide between the richest and poorest in the country. Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, and Salvador in particular is a hotbed for visitors and, unfortunately, violence as documented in the stunning documentary about gang warfare in Brazil favelas. Number 1. Haiti. While Haiti was the site of the world's only successful slave revolts, it's since paid dearly for its historic fight. Presently one of the least developed and poorest countries in the world, Haiti is plagued with crime rates that left the US State Department to conclude that Haiti lacked any safe areas to speak of. Stoked by illicit drug trade, common crimes include carjacking, murders, armed robbery, kidnapping, rapes, and brutal mob violence. That the Haitian police are understaffed and under-equipped only encourages further criminal activity.